Last week, the US dollar appreciated notably amid an overall risk aversion in the global markets. Traders are concerned about a surge in coronavirus cases in Europe and the US, where the rate of daily infections has hit new records. The US dollar index, which measures the value of the dollar against a basket of 6 major currencies, gained 1.36% over the last week, having settled near a one-month high of 94. The tension is rising ahead of the US presidential election and the risk of its controversial outcome. So investors are bracing for political turbulence and prefer to keep their funds in safe haven assets, including the US dollar. Meanwhile, the single European currency retreated against its American counterpart by 1.75%. The euro-dollar pair closed the previous session near a four-week high at the 1.1650 mark. Apart from the threat of tight restrictive lockdown measures partially imposed in some European countries, the euro was affected by the results of the ECB meeting. Christine Lagarde said on Thursday that the EU economy was clearly moving downwards and the ECB would have to consider new stimulus measures during its next meeting in December. The British pound turned out to be more resilient and did not give up its position to the rising US dollar. Over the past week, the pound lost 0.77% and finished the trade at 0.2950 against the US dollar. Investors still hope that the UK and the EU will finally strike a deal in early November. On Thursday, it was said that trade negotiations were slowly progressing, although the two sides remain at odds over the key issues. Meanwhile, new restrictive measures imposed across Europe and the UK in particular continue raising fears among investors. The UK authorities are under pressure to introduce even stricter lockdown to curb the spread of COVID-19, as the new cases of infections are rapidly increasing. Meanwhile, the cryptocurrency market closed the week on a more positive note. The price of Bitcoin hit a new yearly high and broke above the level of $14,000 per token. As a result, the number one cryptocurrency advanced by 6.33% by the end of the week. Surprisingly, the surge in Bitcoin price could have been caused by the end of rainy season in Chinese province Sichuan, where miners seasonally migrate to take advantage of cheap electric power. The commodity market was also under pressure from the rapid spread of coronavirus around the world and the need to tighten restrictive measures, which will definitely limit the fuel demand. Brent crude lost 10.35% of its value and closed the week at $37.42. Thus, Brent posted its largest weekly decline since April and a second consecutive month of losses. Besides, the report from the US EIA and the API showed a larger than expected build in the US crude inventories last week. Rising oil supply also weighs considerably on oil prices. WTI oil futures eased by 8.99% by the end of the weekly session. Gold was not in high demand last week. It lost its appeal among investors due to the lack of additional stimulus measures in the US. Over the week, gold fell by 1.11% and by about 0.3% in October. Still, the fundamental factors remain bullish for gold amid concerns over economic recovery and potentially controversial outcome of the US election. You've watched the combined review of financial markets with me, Anna Kasatkina. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to always keep track of all the latest financial events together with us on Insta TV. See you back soon.